Ghosts are real. This much I know.
On the face of it, Crimson Peak is about an ancient mansion with dark secrets.
Gothic romance is a very time-honored tradition that skates really close to the darkest of fairy tales.
I understand your fascination with the sharps,
Edith, this is my sister.
but proceed with caution. There are several conflicting stories in this film, which weaves together and creates a lot of drama and danger.
There is a young woman at the center of it who is purely innocent.
If you're here with me, give me a signal.
It starts big, wide, and open, and it shrinks, and it becomes this very intense mystery.
I have to leave.
It's ultimately a dark love story.
She knows everything. What sometimes people do for love is what this movie's about. You have nowhere else to go. Love makes monsters of us all.
The production design of the mansion is pretty incredible.
When I first walked into the set, I was completely blown away.
Yeah, it's just absolutely fully realized, incredible, detailed interior.
It's the biggest set I've ever been on in my life.
I wanted a house that was beautiful and at the same time represented the ghosts of the past.
He really wanted you to feel, as you go into the house, that the house was alive, like this thing is breathing.
We custom designed everything for the house. If there were certain things we liked in a lot of pieces in research, then we incorporated in the best of.
It blows me away when I see it. I mean, it's one thing to go through the design process, build it, but then just to see it with the atmosphere, with the actors, it's amazing.
Never go below this level.
The house isn't animated, but it has its own soul. We tried to echo that in architectural details and cracks in the walls that's bleeding.
It's an amazing piece of work by many, many people.
I wanted to get the feeling when you walked in the door, you weren't sure yet.
If you're here with me, give me a signal.
But the deeper you got into the house, you were stuck in the house.
Edith, this is your home now.
Thomas Sharp is the tall, dark stranger from the north of England. He's charming and affable and full of mystery and enigma.
Let me know what you think.
I'll finish it now. Dr. McMichael is a childhood friend of Edith Cushing. He's also a competitor with Thomas for Edith's affection.
Come, I think you're gonna like what I have to show you. Guillermo and I had a lot of conversations about the contrast between Thomas and McMichael. Thomas represents the past, and McMichael is the future. Edith and McMichael were best friends. She confided in him that she had seen the ghost of her mother.
He believes in ghosts, as she does. But in the battle over Edith's heart, Thomas does something which has never happened to Edith before, which is simply that he believes in her. It's rather good, don't you think?
Really?
In the end, Crimson Peak is the story of who wins in that battle. You see, where I come from, ghosts are not to be taken lightly.
If you take Edith and Lucille, it's such a wonderful contrast, the two of them.
I can imagine the two of you in here as children.
We're not allowed in here as children. Edith's clothes are all full of light and soft, and there's a fluidity to it, where even the fabrics of Lucille's clothes, it's like the thick velvet. It's like her second skin. The clothes come all the way up to the neck. The hair's pulled back very tightly. She likes the feeling of tight corsets and constraint.
It really is a world of opposites. We have Buffalo in late summer, autumn, and then we have the world of Allerdale, which is starvation and barrenness. And all of these things became motifs for the clothes. It's beautiful. And that's the thing with Guillermo. The horror has to be a beautiful thing.
Allerdale Hall sits on top of a clay mine.
The red clay mines are the oldest part of the house, and I think they hold the most secrets. It's the gut of the house is the place where the most emotional, and the most violent confrontations are gonna take place. The walls are dripping with red clay, everything is wet, and everything is dark.
I was very happy to leave that set. It was very emotional and very scared and quite a taxing couple of days that we were in the mines.
The shapes of the mines are very Romanesque. Archways, ovals. I wanted them to be made out of several circles that tell you there's a repetition. If there is a body hidden in one of the baths, there must be other bodies hidden in those baths.
What do you want?
A house as old as this one becomes, in time, a living thing.